Have you ever stopped to think that, without even realizing it, you might be treating the love of your life exactly like a rental car? I know, the question stings, but reality hurts even more. In today's world, we lease everything. Cars, houses, phones. We use them for a limited time, and if it breaks down or a newer model comes out, we simply return it and swap it. The serious problem is that this disposable mindset has invaded our homes and is silently sabotaging your chance of having a solid relationship. Many people walk down the aisle with a plan B in their pocket, thinking, well, if it doesn't work out, divorce is there for that. Listen closely. That is not a marriage. That is a high-risk contract. And it is exactly because of this crack in the foundation that statistics show half of couples don't make it past 2 years. You are building your life on quicksand and calling it love. But there's a secret, an ancient key that flips this script. Understanding the brutal difference between a simple contract and a powerful covenant. If you want to stop living in fear of the end, you need to stop acting like tenants of each other's hearts and start acting like permanent owners. Stick with me until the end, because today I'm going to teach you how to lock the exit door and bulletproof your marriage with a commitment mindset and a resilient love that no storm can take down. Ready to change this story right now? Have you guys stopped to analyze if what holds your union together is just a signed paper or something visceral? The truth is, the modern world tries to sell us marriage as if it were a car lease. You take it, use it for about 3 years, and if it starts giving you trouble, you return it and get another one. But for those seeking a solid relationship, that math doesn't add up. Viewing the other person with an expiration date is the first step toward the end, and you need to be vaccinated against this disposable view that haunts our culture. Just imagine entering a rented house versus entering a house you built brick by brick. When marriage is viewed with a contract mindset, the first leak is a reason to want to move out. Unfortunately, many good people go to the altar already with Plan B in their pocket, thinking, well, if it doesn't work out, we'll separate. This small gap is the poison that prevents resilient love from blooming. Because deep down, your subconscious isn't putting all its chips on the table. I don't want to scare anyone, but the statistics are cold and cruel. Research indicates that half of marriages sink in about 2 years. It goes by in the blink of an eye, right? This happens because when the chemical passion settles, those who only hold a contract don't see the profit in continuing to pay the price of coexistence. You need to be smarter than the majority and understand that durability doesn't come from luck, but from an intentional stance in the face of difficulties. This is where the powerful concept of covenant comes in. Unlike a bilateral contract where I do it if you do it, a covenant is a unilateral decision of permanence. It's beating your chest and saying, I'm not going anywhere. It's like deciding to renovate that cracked wall in your own home instead of selling it. When you assume this stance, the couple's emotional security skyrockets, creating an environment where it is safe to fail and, most importantly, where it is safe to forgive. To bring this down to your living room floor, how about doing an audit of the couple's vocabulary tonight? Completely eliminate the word separation from discussions, even when your blood is boiling. Make a pact that the emergency exit is locked and the key has been thrown away. This forces you to solve problems instead of running from them, consolidating that commitment mindset that separates amateurs from professionals in love. And don't think that this idea of permanence is a modern invention or just romantic. If we look back at ancient wisdom, we see that the Creator himself established patterns for how this works in practice. There are historical and divine records showing that when a promise is made the right way, it spans generations and storms that would knock down any ordinary human contract. If we look at the great stories of humanity, we realize that nothing truly valuable was built with an expiration date. A true covenant carries the DNA of eternity, very different from modern agreements that change with the wind. Look at the biblical example of Noah. After the greatest storm the Earth has ever seen, a pact was established that didn't just serve that moment, but all future generations. This teaches us that even if your marriage faces floods and frightening storms, the promise made at the altar must remain firm, like the anchor holding the boat. Think also of Abraham. The commitment established there wasn't about momentary feelings, but about legacy and future. When you look at your partner, you need to see beyond today's flaws. You need to see the story you are writing for your children and grandchildren. A solid relationship doesn't sustain itself only on the now. It feeds on the vision of tomorrow. It is this long-term perspective that prevents a silly fight on a Tuesday night from ruining everything. Bringing this ancient wisdom into practical couple life, you need to create your own signs of the covenant. Just as the rainbow served as a visual reminder after the flood, have visual landmarks in your home. It could be a specific photo, an object of sentimental value, or even a framed copy of your vows that scream to both of your subconscious minds, we are unbreakable. Every time resilient love is tested, look at that landmark and remember that your pact is bigger than the current problem. Don't underestimate the power of looking back to understand how to move forward. History shows us that breaking a covenant always brings deep pain, while maintaining it brings honor and security. Adopting this sacred stance toward the other changes the game, because it takes the weight off daily performance and puts the focus on constancy. You don't need to be perfect every day, but you need to be present every day, honoring the word you gave. A practical tip to strengthen this commitment mindset is to study biographies or talk to couples who have been together for 40 or 50 years. Ask them about the storms they faced. You will discover that they didn't stay together because they never had problems, but because they decided the covenant was worth more than the conflict. This exchange of notes with those who have already walked the path brings absurd clarity to the challenges you face today. But there is an even deeper beauty in all this, which lies not only in the intention, but in the words we use to seal this destiny. There were moments in history between common human beings like Ruth and Naomi, where the declaration of loyalty was so strong that it shaped the very concept of what we say to each other on our wedding day. And it's impressive how these ancient words still echo with full force today. Do you remember Ruth? Even though it's an ancient story, her attitude toward her mother-in-law, Naomi, is one of the greatest lessons in loyalty that ever existed. She said, "Where you go, I will go, and where you stay, I will stay." Do you realize the depth of this? This is the pure language of a covenant. It's not about convenience or what I gain from it. It's about a total surrender of identity and destiny. In your marriage, this must be the background melody. Your problem is now my problem. Your life is my life. This radical declaration is the opposite of the individualism we see today. Ruth was willing to adopt Naomi's culture, people, and even faith until death. Bringing this to the couple's reality, having a solid relationship requires you to stop conjugating verbs in the singular and start living in the plural. It is understanding that by saying "I do," you gave up selfish autonomy to gain the power of unity. It is a fusing of paths, where there is no longer my side and your side, but only our path. And it is no wonder that most ceremonies repeat those classic phrases, for better, for worse, for richer, for poor. Many people recite this on autopilot, thinking about the party afterwards, but these words are the coordinates of the treasure map. They cover the extremes of human existence. Resilient love is not proven in days of joy and wealth. Anyone loves under those conditions. It is forged in the fire of sadness and the scarcity of poverty, when the math doesn't add up and the will disappears. I challenge you to do a practical exercise this week. Take the video or text of your wedding vows and watch them together. But this time, analyze every phrase as if it were a lifelong legal contract. If you don't have it recorded, write new vows tonight, reaffirming this unrestricted loyalty. Put on paper that you are together in sickness and in health, not just as poetry, but as a war strategy for the bad days that will inevitably come. Having this mental clarity strengthens the commitment mindset in an absurd way. When you verbalize and internalize that it is all the days of our lives, anxiety about the future decreases. You stop wasting energy worrying if the other person will leave and start spending energy building something worth staying for. Reading books about biographies of couples who overcame great crises, like accounts of war survivors who kept their love alive, can greatly inspire you to give weight to your words. Now, let's be honest, talking is easy. Parrots can talk too. The true test of Christian marriage, or any union that intends to be eternal, happens when life hits hard. It's beautiful to promise eternal love at the altar with flowers and music, but it is crucial to understand how this promise functions as a real defense mechanism when the temperature rises and the only desire you have is to kick the bucket and run away. Marriage, when viewed through a Christian lens or deep values, is a covenant for life, and it is exactly this vision that acts as an airbag in moments of collision. It's easy to love when everything is going well, but it is this root commitment that carries you in its arms when the road gets bumpy. If the mindset is one of a contract, the first instinctive reaction to a problem is to bail out as soon as things heat up. You need to understand that a crisis is not an exit sign, but the moment to prove the strength of what you built together. It is like being on a boat in the open sea. You can't jump, so the only option is to fix the engine together. This stance eliminates insecurity and the fear of abandonment, allowing you to focus all your energy on the solution and not on self-defense or attacking the other. Maybe today is the ideal day for you to remind yourselves and each other that you are tied in an unbreakable pact. Practice daily reaffirmation. Look your partner in the eye before sleeping and say, "I choose you again tomorrow." This simple exercise cements the commitment mindset in the subconscious, vaccinating the mind against the temptation to give up when tiredness hits or the routine weighs you down. To cultivate this resilient love, invest in very long-term projects together, something that forces you to envision the distant future side by side. It could be a retirement plan, planting a garden that takes years to bloom, or a charity project. Actions that require time to give a return teach the brain that the immediate gratification of the contract is inferior to the lasting reward of the covenant. Reading biographies of missionary or historical couples who faced everything together also helps calibrate this compass. It is vital that you understand that bailing out is the attitude of someone who rents, not someone who owns. Someone who has a sense of ownership cares, repairs, and values. Assume the posture of owners of your relationship. If something broke, fix it. If it got dirty, clean it. This mental switch transforms the burden of daily life into an honorable mission of legacy building, where every difficulty overcome becomes a medal on the couple's chest. In the end, the lightness of knowing the other person isn't going anywhere brings indescribable freedom. You can be vulnerable, you can make mistakes, and you can be imperfect, because the covenant covers these flaws. It is this security that allows love to mature and become something that no paper contract could ever offer. And when this certainty settles in your heart, you are ready to live something extraordinary. Now the decision is in your hands. Everything we discussed here about covenant and commitment mindset is useless if it stays only in the realm of ideas. You have a tough choice to make today. Will you continue treating your marriage like a rental car, ready to return it at the first mechanical failure? Or will you sign the definitive deed of this relationship? Building a solid relationship takes work, sweat, and sacrifice, but it is the only thing that guarantees you will reach the end of your life proud of the story you wrote. I want to challenge you now. What is the first contract attitude, that habit of demanding or threatening to leave, that you will eliminate from your routine this week? Leave it here in the comments. My covenant is unbreakable. I want to see who is really willing to pay the price for a resilient love or is just passing through. But pay attention. There is a silent poison that can corrode even the strongest covenant we just established. It's an instinctive behavior, an invisible barrier you put up when you feel attacked, preventing real connection with your partner. If you don't resolve this issue of triggers and reactivity, all this promise of a covenant could crumble due to a lack of maturity.
I left this video highlighted on the screen right now. It talks exactly about how to defuse this emotional ticking time bomb. Click there to watch because it is the vital complement to what we learned today. And of course, if you want to stop banging your head against the wall and have access to this wisdom that transforms homes, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. I'll see you at the next level.